Today we're doing something I've been meaning to do for a while now. I'm going to show you exactly how I set up my Notion template. First, I need to make myself a coffee. My Notion template is how I organize my life. Everything is in there, from my personal day-to-day schedule to my business schedule to my content planning. Everything is all in this one place. So I'm going to show you exactly how I use it and how it's set up. I'm going to show you exactly how I set everything up. We're going to walk through each page step by step. That way you know how to use the tracker once you get it, or if you're just looking for some ideas on how to set up your tracker, it'll all be in this video. So we're going to go ahead and head in the office and I'm going to show you the full setup. This is what the Notion template looks like. She purchased it. This is the page it'll take you to. There will be a document that you'll receive. It will be a link to this here. We'll have Notion already set up. You're going to click the Get Notion Free. We'll take you to where you can sign up to get an account. If you already have Notion set up and you are logged into yours, you're just going to hit the copy. It'll make a pop-up. This is what your dashboard will look like. You can change the weather to your city. You'll just hit the little customize here and it'll take you to a separate page to do that. You can also change the background. You can change the images here. I'll show you what mine looks like. I've changed the color on mine. I've changed all the photos. So this is what the Notion dashboard looks like. 3 checklists for my priorities for this day, priorities this week, and priorities this month. I also added a section here if you want to time block your days. We also have the navigation board. There are multiple sections. And if there's any section that you don't personally need, everyone's not a content creator, so you may not need this section. You can delete this. So we're gonna scroll down. There's also a link here for Spotify. I don't know about you, but when I'm in work mode, I like to play vibey music. This is just linked to a ambiance playlist and you can change this. So as you scroll down, this is what your dashboard looks like and it has all 12 months listed here. You can change all of these pictures if you want. You can update all of this information here. Scroll down a little bit. This is a quick task and it's just a place for you to put down notes and you can determine the status of these tasks. You have to finish a project here. You can put all of your notes and information into this page and you can change the status for whether it's done, in progress. You can add in the due dates, all of that. We are going to start with one of the months and then we'll go into each individual page. Let's just click on January. I'm a very visual person. I like to have little photos of different things on there. I like to use this as kind of like a mood board, a vision board as well. I'll put images that relate to goals that I have for the year, projects that I'm working on. I'm just a visual person. This helps me. Wish list. Also, you have the navigations to each section that's on the home page. It's also in the month view. You have your task here. There's a section for you to do your monthly money tracker. I personally use my budget template for all of my personal finance, but anything that I get from content creation goes into my Notion template. And then I'll take that information from the end of the month and I'll plug it into my personal budget template, which there is a separate video for that. If that is something that you're interested, I will put the link to that in the description box. Also, there will be a link to pick up the budget template as well. But that is what I use the money tracker for personally for my content creation. But you can put all of your monthly expenses, your income, and your savings here. If you wanted to use this for your personal, you can. And there's just a table. You'll enter all the information and then you'll be able to total it up yourself. There's a section for you to do photo dump. As a content creator, I have a lot of photos and I personally wanted to find a simple way to organize all that information for myself. So I put a bucket into each month. So any content that I film, any photos I take, all of that goes into the January. However, I will say if you want to do that, if you want to use Notion to store photos and lots of heavy content like that, then you will want to purchase a monthly subscription for Notion. Just keep that in mind. There is this section for photo dumps, but if you don't want to do the monthly subscription for Notion, it probably won't be as useful for you. So you can just go ahead and delete that section. There's a place for you to do your monthly reflections. You can put any new skills I learned. I like to use this section that said what made me happy this month to count my wins for the month. It's just a nice way to put in 3 things that happened this month that I felt like was a win. That's what I like to use this section for. And there's also a section for you to jot down notes if you have any. That is what the month view in the Notion template looks like. But we're gonna go back to the home page and I'm gonna show you what each of the different sections here look like. So there's a personal, home, work, mail, and a content calendar. Next, we have the personal, being the author, and then any type of notes or comments that I have so that I can go back and update my Goodreads with all of the information. So So that is a section for that. There's also a section for what you're listening to. I really love music, and I noticed that something about myself is that I get hooked on one specific album or artist, and I just want to be able to go back at the end of the year and look and see what I was listening to each month. So that is what that is for. Are multiple sections within the planner for you to save photos and videos, but again, if you don't want to purchase a Notion subscription, that part may not be as useful for you because they only give you 5 MB for the whole Notion, so just keep that in mind. And this is a place for you to write down any thoughts you may have had for the month, any type of, if you want to use it for journaling, you can use it for that. Again, any of these sections that you are not really liking or enjoying, you can get rid of. This is fully customizable for you, so you can change it to match your taste and your needs. We're gonna go back to the home page and we're gonna click on home. I am moving, so I'm trying to plan my move and just like any home inspirations that I have. This section was inspired by that. But this also, if you're looking to update anything in your home, if you have items that you are watching, little wish list, this is a section for you to do that. But there's also a section for you to plan out things that you need to do in your home, whether it's wash clothes or declutter your bedroom, water your plants. You can put all of that in here, your little tracker. You can add or you can subtract if you need them. You can make as many of these as you want, and then you can just check off whether you did this every day. And I love that section. And then there's also a section for reminders. We're gonna go back. Next we have the work section. There's a little mood board. Again, like I said, I'm very visual, so I love having mood boards. So there's gonna be lots of sections for mood boards in the Notion template. There is your weekly to-do list. So you can do, on your homepage, you have the things for that day, and then you have the things for the week. But you can also break down into each individual day if you would like. So if you have appointments, you can put all of that on your daily to-do list. If you have meetings for work that you need to attend, this is a place for you to be able to track it. You can also keep track of any work tasks that you may have, and you can create notes and things like that if that is something that you need. Again, since I am a content creator, there will be specific pieces that are dedicated to that specifically. So there's a section for you to keep track of your social media growth, and you can keep track of your followers. If you're someone who tracks, you can keep all that information here. And then lastly, again, there's a place for you to upload files, and there's a little place for you to do your work schedule. So I'm currently working on the 4-quarter schedule of the day, along with 2 deep work days. I think I'm gonna make a full separate video about how I set up my daily schedule and how I plan my days for time-wise. So that's why here there's 4 sections, because this is where I'll put my 4 main goals for each quarter of the day. And we are moving along. Again, if you like this Notion template and you like the way that everything is set up, if this is something that you're interested in, it is linked in the description box below where you can pick it up. But again, if you see anything that you like and you already have a system that works for you, just use this as inspiration of how to update your Notion and make you think of things that you didn't realize you needed. And then next we're gonna go to the meals. So this is where I like to save recipes that I am enjoying. You can put in the full recipe here. Also, when I'm planning out my meals for the week, I can do my shopping list, or I can put any restaurants that I may be wanting to try out in the city. This is just a really nice place to keep all of that in one place, especially as someone who is always finding recipes on TikToks. I will just copy the link and I will put them here in my food section. And this is already set up. There is a page in here. When you click on the sections for the recipes, it'll have a place for you to put the ingredients, and then you can also put the directions. But mainly what I use this for is I can embed or I can upload the video from TikTok. So then that way I can just go back to the video and watch it step by step if I need it. I love this section. Mine is full of different recipes. Then lastly, this is probably going to be the most in-depth section of the Notion template. This is going to be for my creators. So if you are not a content creator, this is a section that you can completely get rid of if you don't use. But for my content creators out there, this section completely changed the game for me. This has made me be able to post way more frequently than I was before and actually produce better content. This is the content calendar section. Everything is planned through this system. Also a way for me to keep track of all of the content that I've done for the month. So even if I don't use this portion to plan out videos, because there are times where I just make up random videos on the fly, I still will come back and put it here in my tracker so that I know what I've done. This is what the homepage looks like. It has a calendar view. You can also do like a week. You can do the month. You can do a calendar view, which is my preference. or you can also look at it through your platform. Also a section for status. Let's scroll down a little more and look at the hashtag section. I personally like to switch up my hashtags, especially because I post a lot of different content. So I have fitness content, I have wellness content, I have beauty, my Notion and my budget tracker content. So I like to have everything grouped together. So that's a lot easier for me to switch up my hashtags. So this is just what a list of hashtags looks like for me. And I put them into groups. So like personal branding, day in my life content, skincare routine, to keep track of the hashtags and what specific type of content they go with. I also can keep track of the reach because I like to have a mix of small, medium, and big reach hashtags. So this is just an easy way for me to keep track of all of that information. And then if you scroll down, it'll also be a section for you to group the hashtags together. Now with the updates, you can only use 5 hashtags. So I like to make sure I'm getting the most use out of those 5 hashtags, all of that together. So when I am posting my videos, I can just copy these hashtags and I don't have to go and search for them every time I need to post a video. The home page of the content calendar looks like, but let's go into the scripting for each video. I have this as an example. This is planning a video. You'll click this little drop down button here and you'll be able to click whatever template you need for the type of video that you're filming. So that is why I love this content calendar, because it has everything for you in one place. You don't need to go and look for different templates for different types of videos. It's all here for you. So there's one for Instagram Reels, there's one for posts, there's one for stories. So if you are someone who likes to plan out the content in your stories, you'll have a template for that. There's TikTok videos, YouTube Shorts, Pinterest, all of that is already put together for you. I'm telling you, this section alone, so much value. And you get it with the Notion tracker. So the YouTube template looks like. It has your platform listed, video format. These will already populate for you based on the template that you pull. But there is a section for your content pillars. So I set my content pillars up with my hashtags, but also you can just click here. This will just already populate for you. And then you can update your content pillars, whether it's lifestyle and creator, and then you'll put the type of content that you'll film, all of that. This will depend on your publish day. You'll just click that and then you'll click whatever date that you're going to publish this video, and then it'll give you a timeline. So let's just put this a couple days ahead, and it says that you have 8 days remaining before your content is due in your schedule. This is a place for you to put any type of partnerships that you have. So for me, I have an ongoing partnership with CVS, so that's already listed on there. If I click on this, it'll show you the details of that partnership, so I'm not going to click on that. You can update all of this with the different partnerships that you have, so you can keep track of everything. And you'll be able to click here if you have the content done, if you have the design already set up, your cover image, and also your hashtags. There's a section for you to do your main brief, so you can write down the most important parts of the video or ideas that you have for the video. If you're just brainstorm, you want this video to go. Also a section for you to do your video outlines, so it'll help you prep the script. You can put like your video edits, records, again, like your shot list. If there are videos that you are inspired by that you want to link here, you can watch those before you go ahead and film your content. There's also a section for you to put the link to your background music, or if you want to type out the style that you're looking for, so that when you go and look for the music for the video, you already know the vibe you're going for. My favorite part when it comes to the YouTube video is the description section. So you can put together your description. You can do the video title, plan all of that out. There's a place for you to type out your description so that when you're ready to upload the video, you can just copy and paste it into the YouTube description and be good to go. Any type of links, so like for someone who does fashion content, if there's multiple items that you're going to be linking, or beauty content, multiple beauty products you're going to be linking, you can go ahead and pull those links beforehand, save it in your Notion so that when you're ready to upload your description box, all of that information is there for you. For you to plan your hashtags, because YouTube hashtags are a little bit different than Instagram and TikTok hashtags. YouTube template looks like. Next, we're going to go ahead and look at the TikTok one. Hopefully for TikTok videos. There's also a section there in there if you want to plan out your TikTok lives too. So telling you, this part of the tracker is gold for content creators. There's the YouTube, you have like your status bars, your content pillars. You can put the date there, link all of your partnerships, all of that, and putting your hashtags. However, the meat of the template is a little bit different because this one's specific for TikTok. So there's no section for like your description bar and all of that. That's not going to be in this template. Main briefs and your video outline and your scripts. There's also a place for you to do your music. So if there's certain TikTok sounds that you want to use, maybe you're working on a trend and you know that you need to use a specific sound for the video, you can put all that information here. Also a section for you to do your edits and like any screenshots that you have. And then lastly, the caption for hashtags. Like I said, there are multiple, there's Instagram Reels, posts. If you want to plan out Pinterest pins, there's a section for that, which will give you like the design process, the description, hashtags, all of that. So that is what the content calendar looks like in the Notion template. This video was very helpful for you guys. I wanted to show you the ins and outs of the Notion template. Again, if you want to pick one up for yourself, it is linked in my description box below. I have loved using this Notion template. I'm happy to share it with you guys. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them in the comment section below and I will be able to respond to those and help you guys out. If you are interested in any of my templates, my Notion template or my finance tracker, both will be linked in my description box below. Thank you guys for watching and happy planning.
On hardwood floors, across the floor.